The Minnesota Vikings lost a nail-biting affair to the Arizona Cardinals 34-33 after their kicker missed a chip shot field goal that would have given them the win and time expired. They now fall to 0-2, and the questions are coming in. What is happening with the Vikings? They can't seem to find a kicker. You can see right there on the graphic, kicker just holding his head like this, doesn't know what happened. Well, guess what? You put on the Minnesota uniform, kid. That's what happens to kickers when they put on the Minnesota Vikings uniform. Ask Dan Bailey. Ask Blair Walsh. Ask anyone who's ever put on that field goal. Daniel Carlson. All of them. It is what it is. But anyway, but this game was kind of indicative of the problems that the Vikings have had, or what this team has really been over the past number of seasons, and that is very competitive, but competitive not again like they're competitive, but at the same time there's this air of mediocrity. They never play up to their full potential ever. They've never played up to their full potential, and at the moments where they need to be clutch, they always falter. And the question is Mike Zimmer the reason for this? And I think we have to start thinking about Mike Zimmer being the reason for this, because it's happened one too many times. It can't just be the kicker. I'm sorry. It can't just be, oh, well, they just can't find a kicker, and when they finally find that kicker. No. Why are they always in these close games every single week and always somehow managing to either blow leads or managing to give the ball away or managing to lose? They never finish. That starts from the top. It starts from the head coach. It trickles down to the quarterback, who, again, good quarterback, can't finish. That's been the story of Kirk Cousins' career. It's been the story of Mike Zimmer's tenure in Minnesota. And I think if I'm the Vikings, you have two paths you can go by. If you truly believe that Mike Zimmer or that Kirk Cousins is your quarterback, you can either fire Mike Zimmer this year, because if they don't make the playoffs, if they keep playing the way they're 0-2 right now, and it's not going to get any better. They still have to play Aaron Rodgers, a pissed off Aaron Rodgers, a competitive Detroit Lions team. They have to play the Bears, who might be starting Justin Fields soon. So if you're the Vikings, where do you fall into the mix here, guys? You got to start winning games. They should have won this game, and they should have won it before the kick. They had opportunities to win this before the kick. They just didn't, because this team doesn't know how to finish. Harrison Smith, great player, not his fault, but it's this weird air of mentality. And again, I don't know what it is, whether it's the coach, whether it's the quarterback, but it might be both. You might need to get rid of both. You had Case Keenum, who was actually good at closing out games, but you didn't want to keep him. Instead, you wanted to pay Kirk Cousins to be the highest paid player in NFL history. But again, all that aside, I think it's going to be tough sledding for the Vikings here. Mike Zimmer, if this team doesn't make the playoffs, needs to go. And I'm not saying that because I want him to get fired or whatever. It just needs to happen, because if they have him stick around for the next year or two, and they're just in the same exact place they were, what's happening is this keeps happening. They keep having 7-8 seasons, or 7-8-1 seasons, 8-8 seasons, 8-9 seasons now. If they just keep doing that, this team is just gonna wear out its welcome, and a lot of the players their contracts are gonna run out. Eventually, Dalvin Cook's gonna go. He's gonna be off his rookie deal. He's gonna go somewhere. Eventually, Kirk Cousins gonna go. Adam Thielen's gonna get tired of being mediocre and on a mediocre team. He's gonna go. Eventually, you're going to run out of time. You're going to waste the talent that this team does have. So if the Vikings are smart and they don't make the playoffs this year, you have to fire Mike Zimmer and get someone who can help this team learn how to win. I don't know who that person is, but it's just like but this team reminds me so much of the Bengals under the Marvin Lewis tenure. So much of the Andy Dalton Bengals. It's insane. They're just mediocre sometimes, but they have the potential to be good. Sometimes they reach their potential, but most of the time they don't. And I think it comes down to coaching. Mike Zimmer could very well be the problem here. I hope he proves me wrong. I like Mike Zimmer. I think he's a great defensive mind. I think he had the chance to be a great head coach, but there were a lot of decisions that were made by the Minnesota Vikings that didn't work, and they didn't work on paper. They didn't work on the field, and that's why we're seeing this mess of a situation in Minnesota right now. So They got to do something, because if not, 2-3 years from now, this team, they're going to end up blowing it up and having to rebuild, because they're not going to have a lot of their key players. And they're not going to have the success they once had. They're going to be, players going to get older, players going to take more hits, and time runs out on teams. That's where you have to be ready to adapt. And this is not a team that has been proven they're able to adapt to these situations. They have not proven that they're able to close out these games. And those are the team. That's why I use that term mediocre. This is a mediocre team that should be a competitive team, or sorry, a mediocre team that is competitive, but a one that should be competitive and in the playoffs every year, but they're not, because of just the culture of the team. I don't know. Y'all tell me. I can't figure this one out. Maybe it has something to do with the quarterback that drives all his teammates away. Maybe it has something to do with the coach that doesn't know how to finish games and doesn't know how to get his teams to invest in winning games. Maybe. Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.